Long Haochen has stayed in the blessed place for 3 days. When he returns to the temple with the lightsaber, it's also time for the top 16 match to begin. Before the match, Long Haochen receives a gift from Haochen, the chief knight. This is the equipment that Haochen gave to express his gratitude. Hanyu has become Long Haochen's subordinate knight with his talent activated by Long Haochen's blood, making him go up by 2 levels. Haochen, as his grandfather, can't be more satisfied. The gift sent by Haochen is a suit, including an armor, a sword, and a shield. Long Haochen doesn't refuse. Instead, his eyes shine with excitement. In the preliminary competition, both of his long swords were smashed, and he realized the importance of equipment. The equipment sent by Haochen is not an epic existence, but it is also much better than what Long Haochen possesses now. This set of equipment is called the Holy Spirit set. All 3 pieces of equipment are engraved with magic runes, which contain some light power, helpful to Long Haochen's actual combat. After groping for the Holy Spirit set, Long Haochen couldn't tear herself away from it. Even in his daily state, he wears the suit including when he eats or sleeps. The next day, when the dawn is gradually clear, Long Haochen gets up early. Today is the draw of the top 16 match. He is eager to rush to the draw venue, not only looking forward to the final, but also wishing to meet Kair. On the way to the venue with Li Xian, Long Haochen is nervous all the way. He asks with concern from time to time, Li Xian, how is Kair these days? Is she not angry with me? Despite that he asked Li Xian to tell Kair about him going to the treasure pavilion of the temple in advance, the fact is that he still fails to keep an appointment. On top of that, his date with Kair goes wrong often. Long Haochen is worried that Kair will be angry with him. Seeing that Long Haochen is ill at ease, Li Xian shakes her head with a smile. It seems that only Kair could easily make Long Haochen lose his cool. It also reminds Li Xian of the fact that this calm and reliable young fellow is only a 13-year-old child. Just as they head to the gate of the venue, a man with strikingly green hair comes to Long Haochen and Li Xian with exaggerated dancing steps. It is Brother Yu Yao. Lin Xian first ogles at Li Xian. The latter trembles and steps back with a look of disgust. Then Lin Xian turns around and comes to Long Haochen's side, bending his arms around Long Haochen's shoulder as if he's familiar with him. He's trying to remind Long Haochen not to forget the agreement between them. In the preliminary match, when he watched Long Haochen's performance, Lin Xian knew that he had made a right bet. In his eyes, Long Haochen is only one step becoming the top 3. As for Lin Xian's agreement, Long Haochen pats his chest confidently, indicating that he must keep the agreement and choose Lin Xian as his teammate as long as he makes it to the top 3. After all, Lin Xian's pills really help him a lot. At this time, Li Xian's voice suddenly sounds, and she almost blurted out, "What about Kair?" Hearing this, Long Haochen is stunned, and color coming and going on his face. He has no idea that Kair is also a contestant, so he agrees to Lin Xian's request. Now that Kair is here, things will become completely different. Long Haochen's face turns blanched and livid. He doesn't know how to deal with the situation. Forget about this. Wait till you make it to the top 3. Seeing Long Haochen's expression, Li Xinshi changed the subject. Hearing this, Long Haochen gives a nod. It's not yet that far. At this moment, he should think how to face the next challenge. As soon as they enter the arena, Long Haochen's eyes scan around and soon fall on a beautiful girl in purple clothes. She is like a pearl in the dark, which is so eye-catching to him. It is Kair sitting in the contestants' area. Long Haochen's face cracks into a smile as he hurries to Kair. As soon as he sits down, he eagerly takes Kair's hand and explains his whereabouts in recent days. Kair, I went to the treasure pavilion of the temple these days. I just came out last night. Kair hums in response. She has learned that from Li Xian. During the chat, Long Haochen gradually realizes something wrong. The place where Kai is sitting is the rest area for the top 16 players. Kair, do you also want to participate in the knockout competition? Asks Long Haochen, looking at the girl who is blind in front of her. Kair is the first in the second group. Li Xian snorts and says. Long Haochen feels like a bang in his head. He opens his mouth in a daze. The shock makes him loosen his grip on Kair's hands. He finds it hard to believe. Kair looks up slightly and says in a soft voice, "You haven't asked me. I'm an assassin." 1,000 emotions such as confusion, shock and worry overwhelm him. The most important thing for an assassin is vision. However, Kair is blind. It's hard to imagine how much efforts Kair has made to be an assassin. At the thought of this, Long Haochen could not help but feel sorry for her, and his eyes grow gentle when he looks at Kair. At this time, the temple judge announces the start of the draw. The rules for draw ceremony are the same as that for the preliminary match. People who draw the same color turn to be opponents. It's unlucky that Long Haochen's opponent happens to be Li Xian in the first round. Long Haochen, with an unnatural expression, wants to say something to Li Xian. However, the latter shakes off her high ponytail, saying with a nonchalant look, "My silly brother. Don't worry about it. I am already satisfied to get into the top 16. She knows her strength, so she might as well give the opportunity to Long Haochen. On Kair's side, her opponent is a summoner named Fang Zhu.